Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are away on tour at the moment. We have had a busy day. The plan this evening was to go and climb Suilven. Hope I pronounced that correctly. But we've had such a busy day. We've already done Benmore Asynt and the Corrie, which are not as big as the ones around Fort William, but the walk in, I tell you, you spend more time walking in than you actually do climbing the mountains, which killed us. Absolutely killed us, didn't it? Wiped us out. But yeah, so tonight we are going to be photographing Suilven. I think I said it.
Suilven.
I want to call it Suilven, but I looked at the name and I read it properly and it didn't seem like Suilven. But anyway, so we're walking along and we're going to be photographing this.
Woke up from a whisper.
The challenge is now is not only finding a location that has a composition, but it is definitely trying to find a location that has a breeze, because we have been getting destroyed by the midges. Soon as the wind stops, soon as that rain stops, millions of them. The only option is to either keep on walking or climb in the tent or the car. But we don't have the car, so it's either the tent or walking. And I don't know, it's very warm for that tent. So we need to find somewhere that has a good, solid, but calm breeze. Something that's going to keep them midges at bay. What do you think, Pauline? There's a thumb that agrees. Sometimes it just all happens, and I hope you enjoyed that time lapse. And in front of me here I've got the scene that I'm super excited about. Behind me I'm getting the light on the mountain, so that's going to be good too. But I'm going to start off by capturing this scene just in front of me, and what I have is them flowers that you've just been watching, and I'm going to do a focus stack from them flowers to the scene behind them. At the moment I've got the most gorgeous light on them flowers and it's just illuminating them against the dark green, and it just looks beautiful. It's nice and simple, not a super fast exposure. I want that movement of the wind, and then I'm going to focus on the background. I'm going to go for the furthest thing in the scene, so it's going to be a 2-shot blend. Then I'm going to do a 2-shot exposure for the highlights and the shadows. So the first shot is for the highlights in the land. I don't want anything blown out. And the next shot is for the highlights in the sky. I've got a lot of light coming through them clouds and I really don't want them to be blown out. And I think that is going to be a beautiful shot. But I really want to capture this too. So it is happening. At the moment, Suilven is starting to form a hat. The valley below, I've got beautiful light. And I'm very excited to photograph it. I think I'm going to go for landscape. It's unusual for me to go for landscape, but I think for this scene, it's going to work nicely. And I'm going to offset the subject. I'm going to put the Suilven to the left because I've got this water coming around the right. And that's going to bring your eye in and shoot it up into Suilven. I'm going to focus on the mountain in the background because at the end of the day, that's my subject. And that's looking beautiful. And I quite like how it is right now where Suilven is in the shadow. So I'm going to go to F11, ISO 64, and I'm going to expose for the highlights. That's what I'm going to try and capture. The brightness in the bottom of the valley. Now if you look down the bottom left hand corner, I've got this massive shadow which is just ruining that shot in my eyes. So what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try and raise that exposure so that I can blend what I've captured on this exposure in with what I captured on the last exposure, and then hopefully get rid of that dirty great big shadow, or at least reduce it. And now I'm just going to sit, I'm going to see what happens, whether the light travels up, whether I get more of a cap on Suilven. But right now he's got a lovely head of hair. So I've got one little patch of colour, and that little patch of colour is right above the mountain, which just worked out perfectly. Unplanned and magic. The lock down there is just windy chaos. So I've got the flowers down the bottom here, I've got the colour up in the sky, and then I've got Mount Suilven right here in the middle. Simple, plain, but hopefully a compelling image. Over here looks absolutely incredible. But while that sky is kicking off like that, I'm going to swap tact. I'm going to come across here. And from over here, very similar shot, but this time I'm going to have that colour behind. There we are. So I've got one down the bottom corner, leading in them beautiful God rays that are absolutely perfect. They are stunning. I'm going to check to see what the focus is like. I want a bit of a faster shutter speed, that's looking good. So I'm going to keep the same as what I had over there, ISO 400, 1/30th per second, and f8. Capture that. The flowers look great. And I'm going to drop that exposure and really emphasize that magic sky, and it looks magic. Just look at that sky. Is that not just something absolutely out of this world? Now if I get a sky like that tomorrow morning, I'll be a happy man. But for this evening, I think I'm going to call it there. I hope you've enjoyed the vlog so far, and I hope it doesn't turn into too much of a long vlog. If it does, you might have to wait until next week to watch this the second part to see what happens. If you've enjoyed it, hit that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button, leave a little comment below, you know, all of them things. It is windy up here, but definitely worth a trip. If you manage to get up here without the midge, mwah, it is absolutely perfect. So have a lovely week. That's all from me. Peace out, peeps. Pauline's in the tent. 1 minute, I'll take you to go say hello. Well, say goodbye. Just saying goodbye. Pauline's hiding. It's windy and cold, isn't it? Yeah.